So welcome to the night before pre-game mental rehearsal, a strategy that really does set our mind up for success and puts us in the best physical, mental and emotional position to play our best football. So to start, there are 5 questions that I ask in the script that I've posted up on our Facebook or sent to you directly. The 5 steps for the pre-game mental rehearsal to be done the night before the game. And there's also a very small 3-minute step to be done on game day. So if you haven't already, it's probably a good idea to pause this recording and go ahead and answer in as much detail as you possibly can the answers to those questions that I ask. So I'll give you the opportunity to do that now. If you have any questions about that, about the detail, about how much detail you need to go into, feel free to get in contact with me. So with that being said, and some of you putting pen to paper, to begin, I want you to start by either lying on your back or sitting upright. And I want you to stare at a spot above eye height. And I want you to fixate on that one spot, which helps settle our mind before we move into this rehearsal. And spend a few moments just taking a nice long and slow deep breath. Just in through your nose and out through your mouth as you stare at that spot. And on the next breath out, just gently go ahead and close your eyes. Okay, now if you need to, just go ahead and adjust yourself so you're comfortable. And let's just work through these 5 night before pre-game mental rehearsal steps. And I must say, you could also do this with your eyes open, but most find it more advantageous doing it with your eyes closed. So step number 1 is imagine the game clearly. So all you want to do right now is create a mental image of the game that you're about to play. Yep, from the start all the way through the end. Just play the game in your mind. Yep, just play the game in your mind. Yep, include the sounds. So what are you hearing? Include the feelings. So what are you feeling? Where do you feel it? And what are you seeing? So just imagine the game clearly. Even as much detail as who we're playing. You know, what's the colour of their jersey, where are we playing, the location, where are you lining up? Think about your running patterns. Think about all the game day match setups and scenarios. Paint a real vivid picture of that. It's not enough just to do this mentally. You have to do it emotionally. So I want you to feel the feelings as you're experiencing the game. And see what you're saying, as I said, hear what you're hearing. And now step number 2, remember at any stage you can pause, and if you haven't got that image of the game clearly, you can always pause it in step number 1 before we move to step number 2. So now here at step number 2, together, let's create a successful image. So I said, when you can see it inside your mind really, really vividly, you're more often than not going to be able to hold it in your hand or see it in your everyday life or see it on the footy pitch. So to do this, think about the images that you created in step number 1. Or even if it's just one image. And I want you to step inside that image. When I say step into the image, it's like, I want you to really live it as if you're living it right now. Like as in the moment. So you can't necessarily see yourself in the picture or in the image, but you're actually in it, you're experiencing it. And I want you to play that image in fast forward 3 times. You could play the image of the game from the opening bounce to the final siren. But playing the game the way you want to play it. So feeling what you're feeling once again, seeing what you're seeing once again, And hearing what you're hearing once again, that lets you know that you're playing well. For some, it's just one image. For others, it's a series of images all the way through from that first bounce through that final siren. Whatever works best for you, but make sure you connect with the thoughts, feelings, emotions, sounds, obviously a clear picture. And take some time, press pause if you need to. This step here in step number 2 is you're fully associated in the picture. Can't see yourself, you're in it. And now step number 3, you step out of the picture. As you can see in step number 3, you step out of the picture. So stepping out of the picture so you can see yourself in the picture and play the picture successfully until the game is played exactly the way you want it to from start of the game through to the end of the game. You'd be surprised how quickly this part of your mind can do this. Once again, you've got to keep on going with this to make sure that it's powerful. You've got to feel it, you've got to hear it, you could even smell it, taste it, whatever it is, make it. We call it a rich representation inside the mind. And I want you to do this 5 times. See, stepping out of the picture, seeing yourself, playing where you're lining up, playing the game exactly the way you want to be played, playing the game exactly the way we want the team to be playing the game. And with that success in mind, all the way through from start to finish. Think about the game day setups. Think about your starting position. Think about your running patterns. Think about all the information that Pete and the coaches have been giving you. You know, doing that, executing successfully. Go from start to finish. It's not supposed to be in full, complete detail. Start to finish, even at the very end, just letting you know that you've played a really good game. Do this 5 times. And I'll allow some space for you to do that. If you need any more time, just press pause. If you need more time, that's fine. But now let's go into step number 4. So step number 4 is thinking about the last step. So I want you, this is a very important step, by the way. If there are any steps that are important, this is probably one of the most important steps. I want you to think about the last step or the last thing that lets you know you have played well or the team has played well. The team has executed brilliantly today or in this game. The last step. So what we're after is a picture inside the mind, inside your mind, that represents the last step or the last thing that lets you know that you have played really well. So last step for some could be, one of your teammates just patting on your back. It could be seeing yourself in the club room just with this, just this smile of, accomplishment, whatever it might be. It could be, you seeing yourself with the boys singing the team song. It could be someone after the game, having a conversation with you, telling you, talking about the game and telling just how well you played or sharing your experience. But in the case that you've played really, really well, everybody's last step is different. Sometimes it's straight after the game. Sometimes it's in the club rooms. Sometimes it's not until they get home or even the night of. Sometimes it's the next day. Whatever represents to you the last step. So create the picture so you can see yourself in the picture representing that last step that lets you know that you've had a great game. Make sure you can see yourself in the picture. And take some time, press pause if you need to. And so now with that image, seeing yourself in the picture that represents the very last step that lets you know you've played well, just inside your mind, just put it, imagine just throwing it out into your future somewhere. Right? If there was almost like a built-in concept of time inside your mind, just throw it out to the future, just let it go. Just use your imagination, just put it out in the future somewhere. Just put it out there and park it. Good. And now the final step, step number 5 is the test. So think about it. As you think about the game, how do you feel? I'll say it again. As you think about the game, how do you feel? And often what happens is the images that you've just created, especially the image of that last step, okay, allows you to feel the feelings, see what you're seeing and hear what you're hearing, that indicates to you all those positive thoughts, feelings, and emotions that represents inside the mind that you've played a great game. But most importantly, you can feel it. So the moment you're asked, so as you think about the game, how do you feel? You should experience a flood of emotions, maybe a feeling, positive thought, feeling with the attached image. You might even hear things, smell things, taste things. So we have the 5-step process. Step number 1 is imagine the game clearly. Step number 2 is creating a successful image. And step number 3 is stepping out of the picture. Step number 4 is you think about the last step. And step number 5 is you test. These are all to be done the night before. This is your pre-game mental rehearsal. And the quality of those 5 steps and the detail that you put into those steps and the richness of the experience inside your mind will improve the more you do it. And then, so finally, game day. What happens game day? It's really, really simple. So your game day step number 6 is 3 minutes. You use your nasal and belly breathing. You use your nasal and belly breathing, so breathing deep down into your belly around the navel area. You're breathing in for a count of 4, then out for a count of 6 through the nose, solely focusing on the image from step number 4. The image that represents to you that image of success. Seeing it, hearing it, and feeling it. Focusing on that last step. That is all you're dwelling on. That is all you're focusing on for 3 minutes at any stage pre-game. It could be at home. It could be in the change rooms. It could be during the warm-up. Doesn't really matter. Choose an opportune time that allows you to focus for 3 minutes on that image. Focus on the image from step number 4, that last step. But most importantly, get that positive feeling.